Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Dark Souls 2 beta playthrough. I just got destroyed in an invasion, and I'm respawning promptly afterwards to hopefully, you know, recuperate and invade somebody else and maybe have a little bit of a better fight. So it looks like the connection's smoothed out a little bit when it comes to finding worlds, but when you're in the worlds, it's a complete free-for-all. And my witching urns, as interesting and as fun as they are to throw, not the most useful item, but I do enjoy doing it, because it's new, and new is often good. But one thing about that previous fight, neither of us healed, which is interesting to see, because there's no rules in Dark Souls, guys, and there'll be no rules in Dark Souls 2, and I was surprised to see if there was any etiquette happening in the beta, because I sure as hell I weren't going to use any. And don't get me wrong, if I can avoid healing, I will, because I just don't really like dragging fights out. But it is quite nice to see other people with that same mentality, because to me it should be kind of just all or nothing. It just never is, which speaks more about, you know, human nature than anything else. But back in another person's world, this is somebody called Musra. And once again, I'm at the mercy of the NPCs. Really, really precarious motions to get past them. Not a fan at all of that. But I'm quite familiar with this area now, so I can run past it all, and hopefully I'll be able to win. And you'll notice I've got hardly any life, because when you invade you lose a bit of life, and then when you die you lose a bit of life. Like, pretty much everything you do in this game you lose a bit of life. There's me throwing witching urns at this dude, and he's about to get gangbanged by this poor like NPC thing. That was I believe a life gem. That was me hitting him, but the game didn't know what to do with the hit, so it just kind of, I don't know what it did. But what is even happening? He's taking no damage. Oh, the poor person. If it looked as bad on his screen as it looked on mine, like, it's so funny when everyone's like, oh, the Dark Souls 2 PvP is perfect, the connection's great, the servers are dedicated, it's all going to be beautiful. No. Just no. And know this, folks, you know, if you have a temperamental internet connection, you're going to know. You're really going to know. And it's... what can you do, you know? A lot of people will just say to you, oh, just get better internet, you know, spend some money, you tight bastard. It's like, what if you live in an area where they don't have good internet, you know? You're at the mercy of your area, and you can't just pick up and leave. Unless you know, you're a millionaire or something. But now that I've killed an invader, or I've killed a host, should I say, I'm going to run all the way back to that little midget guy, so I can see what he does. And that's pretty much what we've been doing there. We've been trying to invade, we've been getting beat up a lot, and now we've finally got what we wanted, we can explore this progression. And I just find it hilarious that a lot of people, the PvP guys especially, came to this beta to do nothing but PvP, because that's all they really care about. When the PvP was literally just a stun-locking mess, you know. I can't imagine spending 3 hours doing that. And it makes a lot of sense, because when I watched the podcasts from the people that did, they were all bummed out. You know, they were all pretty down on PvP, except for Peeve, because Peeve, you know, kind of did some interesting different stuff that didn't involve stun locking. And I understood it. I didn't understand it at the time. I was kind of bummed out that I didn't get in. I thought they should have been grateful just to be able to play. But then when I did it myself and I invaded and it sucked, I can understand why they were kind of bummed out, because for those people, it's all they've got. You know, it's all they do. You know, the PvP is everything. Luckily enough for a lot of people like myself, we like a bit of both. You know, we're a little bit of a swinger, a Dark Souls swinger.
Of course.
But here we go.
Why else would you be here?
And now we've killed somebody. He's interested.
Do you give yourself to Na Alma?
Do you give yourself to Na Alma? No.
Then you will.
I think she's a tart.
Lots of it.
So,
Dead
this guy is
like your
some
own.
kind of covenant that works
But it's
like
not
the
as
Dark
easy
Wraiths, I
as you
suspect.
think.
You kill people, you get blood,
Well,
or a token of
what you
spite,
say.
which is, I don't know, crystallized blood, I have
Join
no
the
idea.
Brotherhood of Blood.
And then you give it to this guy, because he likes blood. And I have no idea why. Hopefully we'll figure that out.
Word answers from you, isn't it?
But the dialogue is cool. You know, it's good voice acting.
Hear what you really think.
And I was hoping it was going to open up a shop, or it was going to allow me to get some Covenant items.
Just a little blood.
If I have one thing to criticise, it's how slow people talk.
My
And I think it's because of the subtitles. If the subtitles weren't there, I wouldn't want him to speak faster. But because you've already read what he's saying, you're like, come on, dude, talk.
Oh, just say that I'm right.
But there were only ever one way this was going to end. And I expected something cool for joining Covenant. You didn't give it me, so I'm going to murder you. Here we go, there's a little Covenant prayer. You'll notice there's none of the crazy energy stuff that sometimes happened in Dark Souls when you offered things.
You will.
I thought they'd give you more particles than that, but I assume it's just a prayer. Well, I checked my stuff. He didn't give me shit except for this crusty thing. And the crest is a ring. Covenant ring given to those who seek blood. An indication the wearer belongs to the war god and something more. There appear to be no special effects, was that? So he gave me a ring, which I don't know what it does, and I assume we won't know until we play. I check him for a shop, and all he sells is shit I don't want. Like, he's got an interesting ring. Increases poison, bleed, and like every other status effect, and he's got quite a few spells. But
Well, know anything
that's literally it, so I
about
talked to him a little bit.
tokens of I'll reward you if you win. With red ore,
Ah, right.
a cracked red
So
eye
he's a
telling you if
vendor.
you need
He's kind of like the Karth of this game. He gives you the ability to invade. And if you look on the top left, you'll see that I've got a Covenant emblem. It's kind of like a bootleg Quake
know
symbol.
anything about you
And now he's just saying the same thing, so I'm going to smack him with my big sword.
either
Yeah! Yeah! Take it, fear! Look, 2 hits, 3 hits. I'm out of stamina.
blood will spill.
And then he does that crazy Dark Bead spell. But have you seen his life? I didn't even hurt him, I just aggroed him. And he hits me with his super silent tiny scythe. Yeah. He's got like a Poundland, life hunt. Look at it, it's trash. And I'm going to try and parry him unsuccessfully because he's got really weird swings. And I don't know, there's something with the detection of that animation when he hits you. It just doesn't feel like he's hitting you. I go for the backstab, oh, I get it. Look at that. Oh, 600 damage. That's more than half his life. And I go for the chain because I'm a dirty bastard like that. Doesn't work. Wait for the parry. Oh, I got it. Interesting. I actually didn't think I parried that guy. I thought I just failed a lot. Which I did, but there you go. You kill him and you get the Dispatcher's hood and the Dispatcher's robe. I absolutely hate the robe. I have no idea why anybody wants those awful arachnid bony finger wing things. Just not a fan. Not my thing at all. Look at it. Looks horrible. It looks like David Bowie's asshole. Just, it's not cool. So, put my suit back on, do a little cheeky backstep, and the guy's down. So I'm trying to think what's left now of the beta. So I killed him, I've killed the shop, I've killed both the bosses, I've killed the Red Phantoms, I've done a little bit of PvPing. I'm looking at the levels now to see if any of this is worth it. You'll notice the only stat I've really been bumping was agility, just to see what it did, and I'm still not entirely certain, so it's just confusing at this moment. But no doubt if you buy the guidebook that Epic Name Bro was part of, you'll know everything. Or if you just play the game, which is what I'm going to wait for. Because there's going to be no wikis, there's going to be none of that, it's just going to be a haze of, a nexus of information, of rumours and of speculation. It's essentially going to be what the lore is, but with the mechanics until people realise what's true and what's not. And I find that really, really exciting. I find it even more exciting that I get to fuck with that, because that's kind of my thing. So I'm going to be the person leaving the troll messages if I can. Who knows? I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun with this game, because I know it's going to be fun. Here's the skeleton guy with the crazy helmet. There's another parry. Like, I'm already done parrying. I'm kind of just done And this is just the beta. There's nothing satisfying. They got rid of the noise when you parry. You know, they got rid of the awesome quick one that looked cool, and who knows, maybe there's other things to do. Maybe I'll focus on guard breaking, I don't know. Maybe you get a Hornet Ring and it gives you the old parry. That would be beautiful, because I like the old parry. Maybe the real game will have a completely different parry. You know, maybe they'll go down onto one knee and you'll be able to put your sword through the neck. I have no idea, but it's got to be better than what there is. So there's another one. Because it's funny, because no doubt you'll be watching this, or someone will be watching this, and it'll be their first exposure to Dark Souls 2. And they've just gone into Dark Souls, and they'll look at that and they'll be thinking, that's pretty cool, you know, because it's different, it's new, it's fresh. But I was doing it in Manchester at the convention, on the 2 20-minute sessions I had with the game, on the E3 build. And I did it for these 3 hours. And, I don't know, aside from the timing, because I'm always a fan of learning timings. You know, learning games is my favourite aspect of them. Which is why it really irritates me when DSP says that you needed to have a strategy guide to figure something out, when I thought games were about figuring things out anyway. The whole point is you learn what you're doing. But you might notice there's an interesting message on the screen there. So this is the final moments of the beta. I think this is like the last 10 minutes, so they've upped the difficulty. And I immediately came back over here to see what this was. Watch. Oh, I ended up parrying him. But watch the difference in the damage here, guys. This could literally be the difference between New Game to New Game Plus. Watch this. Doesn't that look familiar? Doesn't that look like Dark Souls again? So this has suddenly gone from Easy Souls to this is Dark Souls again. And I wish that this would have been the base difficulty, because this beta was far too simple. Like, if they'd have had this on for the full duration, I highly doubt, you know, many people would have done as much as they did. Which is probably the reason they didn't. Because not everybody enjoys that like I do and like many others do. You know, people just want to see the game, they want to see what they're going to be buying. They don't want to get absolutely brutalized by the first mob for 3 hours. But I'm kind of looking for the 2 fatties again, because I still haven't figured out why they're not here. You know, the notion of enemies not respawning is insane, because on Dark Souls it was only unique enemies, and I've already seen those guys come back, so at this point it feels like the game is bugging out, but it isn't, it's just my knowledge is not there. So thank you for watching, and you take care.